Today we're going to talk about equivalent ratios. And equivalent ratios are simply ratios that determine the same amount. So for example, if I have a half, an equivalent ratio is just if I were to multiply that ratio by 2, that would give me 2/4. I could also multiply that ratio by 3, and that would give me 3/6. I can multiply that ratio by 4 and get 4/8, and so on. So as long as you have a ratio, even like 4/5, as long as you multiply both of the numbers by the same thing, you will have an equivalent ratio. All right, we're going to do more of it later, but we're going to kind of look at it today in picture form, in recipes, and then in word problems. So let's look at it in picture form first. So if I'm looking at this, so let's say this is a recipe, a big catering company is making bread, and they need to mix 3 pounds of water. Oh, that's a lot. For every 5 pounds of flour. So this is my water, this is my flour. Okay? So if I were going to double the recipe, double means to multiply. Remember, double means to multiply. So it means to multiply by 2. So if I needed to double the recipe, I would simply double each ingredient. Okay? So then that would give me 6 and 10 to double it. Okay? If I wanted to triple the recipe, triple means to multiply by 3. So triple the original recipe, so that was 3. So triple it would be 9. Triple this would be 15. Okay, those are 2 words you need to make sure that you know, double and triple. Okay. Let's look at another recipe. So same thing right now, same one. Let's just look now if it said, okay, again, remember the water was 3, the flour is 5. And if I had 15 pounds of water, remember this is my water right here. So how did I go from 3 to 15? What did I do to go from 3 to 15? I multiplied it by 5. So if I multiplied my water by 5, I should multiply my flour by 5. So that would be 25. I would need 25 pounds of flour. Whew. Okay. And then let's look at this. If I had 20 pounds of flour, remember this side is my flour, how much water would I need? Well, how did I go from 5 to 20? I multiplied by 4, so I should multiply this one by 4, and I would get 12. I would need 12 pounds of water. Okay, that's in some picture form. All right, let's look at another one. Why don't you pause this and see if you can answer these 2 questions. You pause the video. All right, check your answers. So over here, it just needed to multiply from 2 to 6. That I needed to multiply by 3, so I needed 3 cups of water. 9 cups of water, sorry, 9 cups of water. And down here, to get to 15 cups, from 3 cups of water to 15, I needed to multiply by 5. So multiply 2 times 5 and gives me 10 cups of rice. Whew, tongue-tied today. Let's look at the next one. All right, so here it is in a recipe form, in a recipe, okay? So let's say this recipe says that it serves 8 people, okay? What happens if I needed to serve 24 people? If I needed to serve 24 people, okay? You wanted to see I went from 8 people to 24 people. So that means I needed to multiply by 3. So then I would go through and each ingredient I would multiply by 3. Okay? All right, let's keep going. All right, look at this one. All right, so this recipe serves 2 people, but I want to serve 8 people. I want to serve 8 people. So if you see 8, I'm going from 2 people to 8 people. So 2 to 8, I would have to multiply by 4. That means I need to make 4 of these recipes. So if I am quadrupling the recipes, let's see, this is rice. How much rice would I need? So 1 half times 4, you do 4 over 1, so you multiply straight across, so that would be 4 over 2. 4 over 2, or 2. 2 cups of rice. You can also think of it as a half, plus a half, plus a half, plus a half is going to be 4 halves. which would equal 2. Okay, so when you get to fractions. Okay, all right, multiply every ingredient by 2. So this times 2 would give me 8. This times, oh, sorry, times 4. Whew. This times 4 would give me 4. A fourth times 4, so if you have 4 fourths, you have 4 fourths, that just equals 1. And then 1 cup of sugar times the 4 recipes, that's 4 again. Okay. All right, let's look at it in word problems now. All right, so Charlie is making chocolate cake for his birthday party. He found a recipe that needs 2 cups of cocoa powder for every 3 cups of sugar. So first of all, you want to look at what am I comparing here. So I am looking at 2 cups of cocoa powder for every 3 cups of sugar. Okay, so that's my original ratio here. Then all of his friends are coming, so he uses 6 cups of cocoa powder in the cake. How many cups of sugar should he use? All right, so let's look. 6 cups of cocoa. So you look up here, and which one deals with cocoa? This one. So I want to get to 6. So how did I go from 2 cups of cocoa to 6? I multiplied by 3. You're always multiplying or dividing here. Okay, I multiplied it by 3, which means I tripled the recipe. So that means I need to triple my sugar. That would give me 9. Okay, so I would need 9 cups of sugar. If I use anything less, then the recipe would not taste the same. Okay, or if more, it would not taste the same. All right, let's look at another one. All right, last month, Sunny Steps Shoes Company ordered 80 pairs of sneakers and 200 cups of 200 pairs of sandals. I am sorry, I am really messing it up today. All right, so my ratio is 80 sneakers and 200 sandals. That's my original ratio. So you just look at the numbers that were given. This month, they plan to order the same ratio of sneakers to sandals, but they only want to order 20 pairs of sneakers. So look up here. Here's my sneakers. So the 80 went with the sneakers. So how did I go from 80 to 20? Uh-oh, this time I got smaller, so that means I must be dividing. So I'm dividing by 4. So if I divide this one by 4, that gives me 50. So I need 50 pairs of sandals. Let's see. All right, why don't you pause the video and do this one and see if you can do this by yourself. Okay, pause the video and tell me how many paperback books Mr. Baldwin is going to get for free. All right, you should have put that down as your first initial ratio. Then I want to get to 35. So Mr. Baldwin should get 14 free books. Woo-hoo! Okay. All right. I think that's good. All right. You have a class kick to work on. You can go back through and work on the class kick. And if you have any questions with this, let me know. Have a great day, guys.